Well, moments ago, President Biden speaking to the nation, saying it was time to pass the torch to the next generation. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Chris Flanagan.
And I'm Susan Tran. The president there in the Oval Office looking healthy, but with a soft voice, saying his decision to end his re-election campaign was to make sure they defend democracy. Now, the speech was roughly 11 minutes, where he talked about his focus for the remainder of his 6 months to be on the job as president. And speaking out against gun violence and continuing his moonshot mission of finding a cure for cancer. He also thanked his Vice President Kamala Harris, saying she is experienced, tough, and ready.
Nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy. That includes personal ambition. So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. That's the best way to unite our nation. You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. There's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now.
And part of continuing his job as president, tomorrow Biden will be meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu there at the White House.
D.C. police say 9 people have been arrested as protesters clash with police at rallies against the Israeli leader. It happened as Netanyahu addressed Congress today. So here he is. He's here trying to gain support for his country's fight against Hamas. But his visit is sparking major protests from Palestinian activists calling him a war criminal. They're also demanding the U.S. stop aiding Israel. DC News Now's Mariel Carbone live outside the Watergate Hotel where the Prime Minister is staying. And Mariel, protests continue there outside that hotel.
Yeah, Chris, this group of protesters just got here about an hour ago. You can see them chanting, cheering. It's a fairly large group, and we are directly across the entrance of the Watergate Hotel here. The big message for from the people tonight, they want Netanyahu to know that he is not welcome here. This protest, it is just a culmination of multiple protests across the district today. Take a look. Outside the fencing of the U.S. Capitol, pro-Palestine demonstrators chanted, cheered, and marched.
They are witnessing a 9 months of an ongoing genocide.
Demanding Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu be arrested on war crimes. As the Israel-Hamas war rages on, Netanyahu addressing the U.S. Congress Wednesday.
I believe that the welcoming of a war criminal in D.C. or in anywhere is completely unacceptable.
The protests turning violent. Capitol Police deploying pepper spray after they say protesters tried to cross a police line.
My arms are on fire right now, you know.
This protester says the confrontation got out of hand.
For them to immediately go to gas masks, pushing people with their bikes, you know, it wasn't as if, you know, we were asking them, hey, let us move forward, let us go past, but we weren't pushing them.
At least 6 people were arrested inside the House galleries after interrupting the Prime Minister's speech. Blocks away at Union Station, more violence. This video shows an American flag set on fire. Protesters also removing an American flag and trying to replace it with a Palestinian flag. And the scene tense as U.S. Park Police revoked the protest permit for Columbus Circle.
I think it's important to show that the American citizens don't support the policies of our upper class.
And we know that MPD did make multiple arrests today. This evening, Police Chief Pamela Smith putting out a statement saying that her department has a long history of handling these First Amendment activities. She says they will continue to protect protesters that are protesting peacefully and safely, and that they will hold anybody accountable that is not doing that. Reporting live from outside the Watergate Hotel tonight, I'm Mariel Carbone, DC News Now.
Now let's talk more about why the protesters were out there. Prime Minister Netanyahu telling Congress he's fighting to bring hostages home.
America and Israel must stand together. We're actively engaged in intensive efforts to secure their release.
Some Democrats, though, skipped out on his speech, most notably Vice President Kamala Harris. She and President Biden, though, are expected to meet with Netanyahu separately at the White House. The Prime Minister will then head over to Florida Friday to see President Trump. Now, this, of course, is a developing story, as Netanyahu will remain in the district until at least Thursday, when he will be meeting with President Biden. And you can stay on top of all of the traffic changes, protests, and news headlines from his visit by staying with us on air and online right here at DCNewsNow.com. Let's talk about the forecast. Not a lot of rain that I could see in the district today.
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb here, but you know what? The humidity is sticking around, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely. It won't be sliced in half until we go into your Friday. Not much moisture to talk about. We're nice and dry right now, sitting under mostly cloudy skies. Really no threat of any rain for tonight. We do have a few lingering raindrops that are out towards southern Maryland, but they're very light in nature. And so the wider view showed you what is really enhanced out towards the Carolinas, but the frontal passage is really in the Midwest across greater Cleveland into Ashtabula area, Columbus as well. And most of that is going to finally make its way into our region going into tomorrow morning. It starts for southern Maryland, this batch of rain, but the front activity won't really impact us until about 3-4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures as a whole, it's still hot. It's still very humid out there. Humidity levels, they are ranging in the upper 60s to lower 70s, and so that's not playing nice for tonight, because you have a stalled out front that's been kind of meandering and pretty stubborn, won't push offshore. That's allowing us to see high humidity levels. So hour by hour tomorrow morning, we'll track in that rain. DC metro area really doesn't get going with the rain until mid-afternoon. I'll have more of that forecast coming up, guys.
All right, all new tonight in Maryland. 2 people are dead and 1 person injured after a crash in Charles County. It happened around 2 this afternoon on Route 301 South at Popes Creek Road.
There's a new program in Maryland hoping to make the communities in Montgomery County safer. It's called MoCo Connect. Families and businesses can share their security camera videos with the police, and police will contact them if there is crime that happens nearby. Now, county officials say the program is completely optional. There are similar programs, of course, in Prince George's County and D.C.
All new tonight in Virginia as Fairfax County works to cut down on the rising number of young people who overdose in opioids. It has a new resource to help those struggling with substances.
And we have our Max Marcillo joining us live here in the studio. And Max, it really sounds like a life-saving program. So tell us more about it.
Well, it all centers around this drug, Suboxone. It's a medicine that can be used to numb the cravings for fentanyl for those hoping to become and stay sober. By the end of the summer, Fairfax County says it will have 5 locations for youth battling substance use to get this medicine and more to help them, potentially even saving their lives.
I don't know, man. I just keep getting up.
Sobriety has been a constant battle for Denise Sharati. As we reported about a year ago, she's no stranger to telling her story and not shy to acknowledge why she's still here today.
It does combat the cravings. It helps with the cravings. It makes you sleepy. But like all medications, you just gotta get used to it. But it's definitely helps.
A combination of Suboxone, which she has used on and off for about 15 years, naloxone, which has saved her life, and talk therapy.
We need to protect our community against opioid use disorder.
That's been on Laverne Williams' mind constantly. She leads the Youth and Family Division of the Community Service Board in Fairfax County, which has seen a concerning trend.
We've seen a huge increase in opiate overdose in our youth.
The numbers back it up. In the Fairfax Health District, 12 times a minor survived an overdose in 2021. That happened 27 times in 2022 and a staggering 58 times last year. I walk in right now, I'm looking for treatment. Kind of what happens from here?
They're going to get a nursing evaluation. They're going to also meet with the psychiatrist, and depending on that evaluation, we'll go from there in terms of medication treatment.
This new facility, a place for walk-in free services paid for with some county money and some money from opioid-related settlements.
Everyone is committed as a system-wide team to decreasing the barriers to services and increasing access to care.
When you told me, I was ecstatic. I was like, what? It was pretty cool. It was really awesome.
A growing and faster response to combat a growing problem, taking too many lives, too many young lives.
One day we're going to get it right.
Now, any minor who lives in Fairfax County can walk into the new facility at the Jerry Highland Government Center in Hybla Valley, or the original one at the Shannon Bulova Center. That one's in Annandale.
So, Max, how does the clinic expect to bring in new patients, and how many people really do they hope to help?
Well, when they first launched this as a pilot program back in 2022, they served roughly 35 people. Now they're expecting more than 150. This resource is a part of the plan. It's also working. Youth non-fatal overdoses are down from the last 2 years so far in 2024. Now, the county is relying on anyone from family service workers, probation officers, family members to help connect these kids with the resources. One thing Denise told us in our conversation, that is so important to have someone who you can rely on, who can keep you accountable and safe as you work through that substance use disorder.
All right, Max Marcillo with some really important details there. Thank you so much for your report. Let's turn now to the Summer Games and the 6-hour time difference between us and Paris. It means beach volleyball is at 3 a.m., gymnastics 3:30. Did you set your alarm, Chris? The district, though, is making sure bars and restaurants can stay open all night so you can watch with some friends. Businesses have until tomorrow to apply in order to open 24 hours and serve alcohol until 4 in the morning during the Summer Games. Now, we're going to put a whole list of the bars and restaurants who are going to be part of this program on our website, DCNewsNow.com.
Yeah, and right now, 12 Northern Virginia police officers and a K-9 named Presley are headed to France for the Summer Olympics. The Fairfax County Police Department is one of only 4 departments in the entire country asked to help. That is pretty cool.